Hello everyone, welcome to Dr. Rajkumar Academy. See guys, as part of our REAP program, on the third test we had geography, but specifically for geography we had chosen NCRT books. We wanted students to first go through these NCRT books carefully and try to answer the questions. As you are aware, there is no standard book available for geography, and it is from NCRTs that you get most of the questions. So, picking questions from those, I wanted to ensure that, first most important thing is, are students able to answer multiple choice questions properly? See, I have given most of the questions in one liner rather than statements. The reason being, when a student is trying to go through these type of questions, mostly they have a feeling okay, I know these type of questions, I can answer. But when they start answering, they really get to know what are the factual things that they miss. For example, in recent paper, they had given with respect to which minister had actually unveiled a bridge. Now, that was in a statement, and that was wrong, and students were not aware about that. Now, I can also make such statements and tell, okay, this is launched by this minister. But what will happen if I give such statements? If it is wrong, you will not focus on it. But if I give it first test directly with respect to what exactly does that mean, you will focus on the words. See, let me explain this clearly. Now, what does a student do while actually taking a test? He'll pick up the questions and he will see which one is right and which one is wrong, and he will leave. But what UPSC does is, there will be 3 or 4 statements, and within a statement they are trying to use certain definitions or certain factual information, and students are not able to realize those factual data are also important to be studied. Why? Because they are coming in statements. You don't think they are factual questions. It is another way of asking you about the factual questions. Correct? If he gives you, consider the following 4 statements. A bridge was constructed in this. This was unveiled by a minister. Now I will make it 2 questions in this paper. Where is the bridge located? One question. Who unveiled it? Another question. So you will realize that both are important. It is important for you to study that yes, it is present in this place. Yes, it is unveiled by this minister. So then the chances of you making mistakes are less. So in the first round, even though it looks factual, I want you to answer these factual things and ensure your answers are correct, so that in the examination, if these factual things are given in the form of statements, you are not going to miss them, right? So guys, species which are not the natural inhabitants of the local habitat but are introduced into the system are called as exotic species. You might have heard recently from Namibia, we got certain species and introduced in Madhya Pradesh. So whether you introduce it intentionally or unintentionally, it would be called as exotic species. The second question, which of the following is not true regarding the causes of loss of biodiversity? See guys, Illegal hunting, natural calamities, pesticides, they all lead to loss of biodiversity, but the one which is not is conservation of plants and animals. It may look simple, but these are the type of questions that you expect in environment and ecology as well. Jaldoot app recently in news. Yeah. Because several times UPSC asks you like this. Consider the following statements with respect to groundwater. And in that they will ask you, Jaldoot app was recently launched by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. You may feel it's correct, but it is launched by Ministry of Rural Development and Panchayat Raj to know the water level of different villages. They want to know about this data so that what measures can be done to improve the water level can be known. Snake Island. This type of questions are very common in the exam. Where are they actually located? They are located in Black Sea because of Russia-Ukraine war. It was in news. The number of times the inversion of temperature occurs within the 5 layers of the Earth's atmosphere is. What do you understand by inversion of temperature? With increase in height, if temperature increases, we call it as inversion of temperature. Now in stratosphere, thermosphere and exosphere, we normally observe this inversion of temperature. This is the most repeated question, guys. Which of the following factors control temperature? Latitude, altitude, distance from the sea, warm and cold currents, all are correct. Yeah. Study of soil is pedology, study of rock is petrology. Very simple question. Choose the correct statement. Yeah. There's chemical weathering, very important. Carbonation is the reaction of carbonate and bicarbonate with minerals. Hydration is the chemical addition of water, not hydrogen. Which is the basic source of all minerals in the Earth's crust? Guys, magma which comes from asthenosphere is considered to be the basic source for almost all the minerals. Which of the following is not a minor plate? See guys, Antarctica, North America, South America, Pacific, India, Australia, Africa and Eurasia are considered to be the major plates. So here you get Pacific plate which you can answer. This is from NCERT, guys. Consider the statements related to Human Development Index. Guys, normally in exam, if you get the numbers like this, they are mostly wrong. Like, in exam, I just wanted to give you this question so that you get to know. Yeah. Guys, you should have clarity about agriculture. 8 to 10 questions you will get from agriculture. There, very simple questions like this. Which of the following are plantation? Which of the following are not plantation? They'll ask you such questions. So you see here barley, mesta, they're all not plantation. But if you see tea, coffee, cocoa, rubber, oil palm, these are all what? Plantation agriculture. Cooperative farming was most successful in Denmark, guys. Which of the following has caused the sex ratio of Dayu and Daman Chandigarh? When you look, so you have sex selective abortions, low birth rate of females. High birth rate of males is not correct. High out migration of females is not correct. Yeah. In which of the following rocks carbonation occurs? See guys, limestone is one where the calcium carbonate gets converted into bicarbonate. The process that causes the removal and downward movement of material. So yes, complete removal is called leaching but the downward movement where it will be located will be called as elevation, but when it is just removed from one layer, it will be called as elevation. Yeah, because this was asked because of the uh, straits that are present in the news. Formosa Strait connects South China Sea and East China Sea. Which of the following types of agriculture citrus fruits are cultivated? It is your Mediterranean agriculture. Which of these tribes practice transhumance? It is Bakarwals. Yes, Bakarwals are in news because they are the one who go to Ladakh region and all and try to communicate with our government who is coming, whether Chinese are entering or not. So that's why that community is very, very important. Which port is called Queen of Arabian Sea? It is Kochi port because of the spices export. Winbacks, very easy. V is for Vietnam, I is for India. In the context of landform, V-shaped valley. See guys, V-shaped valleys are present in youth stage, which means mountain or upper course. In mature stage, meandering will be there, right? Hamari Dahorar scheme is launched by Ministry of Minority Affairs, not Ministry of Culture, guys. It is aimed at promoting rich heritage. Low altitude escape motor was test fired for Gaganyaan. India is planning to send Gaganyaan to an altitude of 400 to 600. That's why. Dahi Handi, culture wise, guys. So, Maharashtra, because they have considered it to be the most important official sport, indigenously built aircraft as INS Vikrant. Yeah. This India's first observatory to monitor space is in Uttarakhand. The Ladakh one is different. This is different. So to ensure that the confusion is not there, we have given the question. The dance form which was nominated by Government of India to be inscribed as UNESCO's intangible cultural heritage is Garba, and Garba dance was in news as well. Bade Chalo campaign, Ministry of Culture. This is a factual data just out of the box. World Senior Citizens Day celebrated on. Different zones are given below. Arrange them accordingly from north to south. Guys, Greater Himalayas, Lesser Himalayas, Shivaliks are there. So when we look at this, we need to arrange them according to this. So the uppermost one will be called as Indus Sang Suture Zone, right? And then you will get main central thrust. Then you will get main boundary thrust. Yeah. This is in news, guys. Khartoum is in Sudan. Oaxaca is in Mexico. Baku, Azerbaijan. Mansar Lake factual data. Which is the lake present northernmost of all the Great Lakes? It is Lake Superior and it is the largest freshwater lake as well. Which of the following countries border Mediterranean Sea? Is because of Russia's attack on Ukraine. Now European countries which have border with Mediterranean is also important. Just try to recollect the countries which are bordering this. Which of the country border Bohai Sea? Which one? China, guys. Stephen Eckert recently in news is located in Nagorno-Karabakh. Yes, let me just tell you why so many questions on places in news. In geography, this is geography test, guys. In geography test, map based questions, you will have at least 4 to 5, and most of them are associated with current affairs. So rather than reading these type of news at the end, if you can have a clarity from now on when you are reading current affairs, identify the places which are there and try to study about them. See guys, only map based 6 to 7 questions will come. World map will be associated with news. So current affairs for geography is mostly about the places in news. Which of the following port city is nearest to Tropic of Cancer in India? It is Kandla port. Which of the following statements defines quasar? Guess it's a science and technology one, right? It's a remote celestial objects emitting exceptionally large amounts of energy. Yes, most of the world's great ports are classified as comprehensive ports. Considering the various properties of air, such as air is poor conductor of heat, all hot bodies radiate heat. In radiation process, transfer of heat require medium. So the option is incorrect, guys. In radiation, there is no requirement of this. Earthquake waves. Earthquake waves reaching surface are recorded through seismograph. Yes. S waves passes through solid, liquid and gases. No. Shadow zone S waves is larger than P waves. Yes. Direct question. Yeah. Let's consider the following statements with respect to Kushiara River. India and Bangladesh recently had an agreement on Kushiara River, and it is a distributary river which is present in Bangladesh and Assam, not Arunachal Pradesh. Waters of Kushiara pick up tributaries from Manipur, Mizoram, and Assam, not Manipur, Meghalaya, and Assam. It is Manipur, Mizoram, and Assam. Yeah. Zaporizhia is a nuclear plant in Ukraine which is in news. It is on the banks of river Dnieper, and at the same time it is under the control of Russian military. So which one is wrong is one only. Consider the following statements. Large and deep holes at the base of waterfalls are called plunge pools. Correct. The floodplain above the bank is called active floodplain because it will be receiving ingredients regularly. Meander is a landform created by river. Cirque glacial valleys. Moraines are example of depositional landforms. Yeah. Now you see the floodplain. Now let us see what is the answer for this. Plunge pools are correct. Now when I see floodplain above the bank, now when we look at the region, wherever we observe, just a minute guys. Yeah. Now when you look at this, if the river is flowing like this, and if this is the floodplain that is present, right? So whenever there is flooding, it will be active. When there is no flooding, it will not be active, right? So whenever it is flooding, so if the same statement, the floodplain above the bank is active floodplain, but for that you must normally have flooding occurring, then it will be called as active. Meander is formed by the river, but you see the statement, it is not a landform. The word landform makes it wrong. Circuits moraines are actually deposited. Fine. So guys, normally students get confused with the terminologies. That's why I was trying to say, when we see it looks correct, but when we look at the words, terminologies, then you get to know what it is. RT-PCR was recently discovered for monkeypox. Miss Elite World, don't worry. Artemis 3 is the crewed moon land mission of NASA, USA, who has unveiled India's first saline water lantern, Jitendra Singh. It is called Roshini. Fine. So guys, these were some of the important things. As I told you, in the first round, I'm going through factual questions a lot. But from Feb, we will go in detail about the other aspects. It is fine if you leave questions, but ensure you are not marking them negatively. Hope the discussion was helpful. Thank you.